Hey everybody, from popular request, I've been asked to make a YouTube channel, so I decided I will, and so to debut it, I'm going to teach a trick in my first video. So, yeah, okay, so this trick's called Out of This World. You've probably seen people perform it. I think David Blaine has done it, a few other people have done it, and basically the effect is that a spectator, two spectators can shuffle their deck, and one spectator deals the cards face down, one at a time, wherever they want, into two separate piles, and at the end the magician reveals that each pile is a different color. So basically the spectator just separated the deck into two colors. So yeah, so it's a pretty easy trick. It can be done kind of impromptu. You need a bit of setup though. So yeah, so what you want to do is separate the deck into reds and blacks. It doesn't have to be reds and blacks, but it can be just, I mean, you have to separate the deck up into both colors. So first thing you want to do is, once you do that, what I like to do a lot of time is separate the deck into two halves, and then I like to give a half out to each spectator. Let me zoom out. I like to give a half out to each spectator, and I'll usually say, okay, I want both of you shuffle, right? So you both feel like you did something, right? Or nothing like, I mean, that sounds a bit rude, but like, you know, something like that, right? So then there's an excuse to split the deck up. And each spectator will shuffle, right? I can't really shuffle, I'm trying to look through my camera. But, yeah, so each spectator will shuffle half of the deck. Let's give it a good mix, right? But it doesn't really matter, because all the cards here are black anyways, and all the cards there are red. So once they shuffle, you just want to grab the packets again and just put one on top of the other, right? It doesn't really matter. All you want to do now is memorize the bottom half's color, right? So you just look at the bottom card, and whatever color that is, it's the color of the bottom half. So I know the bottom half of the cards are black. Pick those up. Yeah, so once you know the bottom half's color, right, now all you want to do is you can do a little teaser, right? So what I like to do is I usually just spread through the cards, and I'll just pick a card and I'll be like, can you guess what color this is, right? And if they say black, right, and in this case that'd be wrong, I'd just say something like, oh, it's fine, it was red though, right? I'll just put it aside, and then I'll do it, but this time I'll pick the opposite color, right? And I'll say, what color do you think this card is? And then if they guess it right, let's say they say black, right? I'll be like, okay, yeah, it's black, I'll put it aside, right? So those are the two piles. Now you want to hand the deck to the spectator, right? You can do some fancy cuts, anything you want. Oh, sorry, my hands are really limited. But you can do something like that. And now what you want to have them do is, do you want to tell them to hold the deck in their left hand? That's usually what I say. And then what I tell them to do is deal the cards face down into each pile, whether based on what color they think it is. And you want to emphasize the face down part, because you don't want them to deal them face up, right? It will ruin the effect. So I'm going to do that, and what I like to do a lot of times is just deal a couple to show them what I mean, right? Because sometimes they'll deal them face up, right? So what you want to do is you want to tell them that, right? And then you let them deal, right? They can deal however they want. And sometimes people will deal all the cards into one pile, but when that happens, usually I say something like, hey, it won't work. I mean, like, don't obviously go out of your way to not let it work, right? You want to, like, at least give it a shot, right? So they just deal randomly. Let's see. You just deal. You want to tell them to do it one at a time, too. That's important. If you do it in packets, there's a chance that the trick it'll still work-ish, but they won't get all the cards right. So, yeah, deal them. Yeah. And once they've dealt them, I just square up the packets, right? I usually do it while they're dealing, right? Or I have someone like the other spectator help me square them up. But I say don't look at them yet. I don't want to have messed up and then be embarrassed, right? Something like that, right? Because the cards are not actually separated yet. So first, what you do now is you square them up, right? And then what you do is earlier you remembered the bottom half's color, right? So what you want to do is grab the packet of cards from that color. So earlier the bottom half's color was black. So you want to pick up the packet on the black card, right? It's supposed to be the black cards, right? And what you want to do, right? There's a version of the trick where you can do it marked, and this will eliminate this move that I'm about to show you. But honestly, I recommend learning it without the marked version, because this is more impromptu. You can do it with someone else's. You just have to set it up. So what I do is I look through and I say something like, let me just see if it worked, because I don't want to embarrass myself, right? So what you're actually doing is you're remembering the last black card, right? Because if you chose the right color, right? If, let's say the bottom half was red, you pick up that pack, but it was black. So because it always, like, what happens is the black cards are on top. So you just want to remember the last black card, right? Which in this case is the 3 of spades, right? So then you just say, you do something, maybe you smile or something, you say, wow, you actually did really good. So what you want to start doing is dealing the cards face down, one at a time. And what you're looking for, sorry about that, someone's alarm went off. You want to keep dealing cards one at a time face down until you get to that 3 of spades, right? And that 3 of spades is like your cue card. So when you get to the 3 of spades, yep, I think it's right here, yeah. You get to the 3 of spades, you want to say something like, okay, look, you got those. Look, I'll show you these. So what you're actually doing is you're holding the remaining cards, and these are all red, right? So you obviously can't deal anymore. So your misdirection is, look, I'll even show you the other half, right? Because they might be wondering why you show all the cards, right? And what you're doing here is you're picking up the other half, right? In this case, it's the packet on the red, right? And these cards are actually all red, right? And this pack is kind of the same setup as this pack. The top half is black, but the bottom half is red. But what you're actually doing is, that's there, and you have this after you've just dealt them, right? And then what you're doing is you're picking it up, right? And you're doing this in one fluid motion. You're picking it up, dropping them here, and then flipping it, putting it here, and spreading. Oh, sorry, spreading. It's horrible spread. But yeah, let me show you the effect again. Sorry. Basically, you're putting it there, and the illusion is these cards are all black, and you know the 3 of spades is the last one, right? As soon as you put it, when you spread, what it looks like to them is that the remaining cards were these, and these are all the cards in the other half, right? Sorry, I can't really do it here because like my hand's getting blocked. But point is, that's the illusion you want to go for, right? And when they see that, they freak out because to them, right, they shuffled the halves, they dealt, all you did was show them the cards, and magically all the blacks are here and all the reds are here. And I think it's a great effect. I really recommend it. It's a pretty easy trick too. The only hard part is audience management. Excuse me. No real sleight, right? The only sleight is maybe dealing and memorizing the card, right? And maybe about picking this up and doing a spread, right? It would look, if you did it, like, I'm right-handed, right? So I can't really, I'm not that good spreading this way. But if I spread this way, right? This is what it would look like, right? It looks really clean, right? All the red cards and all the black cards, right? And yeah, the best thing is everything's examinable. And if you really want, you can just pick up the cards like that. Make sure red's on the bottom, right? And look, you're already set up to do it to another person, right? So yeah, guys, that's my first video on this channel, and yeah, that's my debut tutorial. So hope you guys enjoyed, and if you liked, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.